You could already be dead long before those 30 days are up. As Jupiter began its ominous descent toward Earth, marking an unprecedented and cataclysmic shift in our solar system, it would first traverse the asteroid belt, a vast, chaotic region nestled between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars. This celestial zone, often misunderstood as a dense minefield of rock and debris, is actually composed of hundreds of thousands of rocky bodies, with sizes ranging from minuscule specks of dust no larger than a grain of sand to massive asteroids stretching up to 1,000 kilometers, 620 miles, in diameter. These remnants of the early solar system are spread out across a wide span of space and are remnants from the time when the planets were still forming. But for a planetary behemoth like Jupiter, these objects pose no real threat. Despite their numbers and sizes, they are simply not massive or concentrated enough to stand in the way of the gas giant. In fact, the average distance between any two significant asteroids in the belt is roughly equivalent to the size of 7 Jupiters lined up in a row. That's how spaced out they truly are, despite the dramatic depictions often shown in science fiction films. So, it is entirely plausible, and indeed likely, that Jupiter could pass through this region virtually unscathed, as if it were slicing through a cloud of cosmic dust. From our vantage point on Earth, people gazing up at the night sky would begin to notice a subtle, yet unsettling change. Jupiter would begin to look twice its usual size, something that, to the untrained eye, might not seem particularly alarming at first. After all, Jupiter is already one of the brightest and most prominent objects in the night sky, often outshone only by the Moon and Venus. But this doubling in apparent size would be just the beginning, a faint whisper of the chaos to come. Because while the visual shift might not be enough to cause widespread panic, the consequences of Jupiter's new trajectory certainly would. Jupiter plays a far more critical role in our solar system than many people realize. It acts as a massive gravitational shield, a cosmic bouncer, if you will, warding off potential intruders that could threaten the inner planets, including Earth. With its immense gravity, about 318 times the mass of Earth, and a pull 4 times stronger, Jupiter has long served as a protector, catching and redirecting asteroids and comets that might otherwise slam into our planet with life-ending consequences. In fact, many of Earth's most famous near misses and some of the actual impact events in our planet's history were likely influenced by Jupiter's positioning and gravitational influence. For instance, without Jupiter, Earth might be bombarded far more frequently by deadly space rocks. Even a relatively small asteroid, say, one about 5 kilometers, 3 miles, across, could have devastating effects. Such an object would release an amount of energy thousands of times more powerful than all the nuclear bombs ever detonated on Earth combined. It would be enough to alter the climate, destroy ecosystems, and potentially end life as we know it. It's no exaggeration to say that the dinosaurs were wiped out by such a catastrophic event roughly 66 million years ago. Now, imagine that same protective planet suddenly becoming a harbinger of doom. If Jupiter were to hurtle toward the inner solar system, its massive gravitational field would begin to disrupt the orbits of thousands of asteroids, slinging them in all directions like a cosmic shotgun blast. Many of these newly displaced space rocks could be flung on collision courses with Earth. In such a scenario, it's entirely plausible that humanity could be wiped out long before Jupiter even reaches us. Cities could be flattened in seconds. Entire continents could burn. If you survive the initial impacts, the global firestorms and ensuing nuclear winter would be nearly impossible to endure. But let's assume, just for the sake of argument, that you manage to survive. Let's keep you alive in this grim scenario, if only to witness the true horror unfold. As Jupiter plows through the asteroid belt, it may collect some of the rubble in its wake. This includes the possibility of acquiring a new moon or two. One likely candidate is Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt and the only dwarf planet in the inner solar system. Ceres alone accounts for about 25% of the asteroid belt's total mass and has been studied extensively by space probes. As Jupiter tears through this region, Ceres could be captured by its gravitational pull and become the 80th moon of the gas giant, joining the ranks of Ganymede, Europa, Io, Callisto, and others that currently orbit the planet in complex and chaotic paths. With Ceres potentially now in tow, Jupiter's path brings it to Mars. From Earth, the spectacle would be astonishing. Jupiter would now appear almost 4 times larger than usual, dominating the night sky with a brilliance and clarity never before seen by human eyes. For the red planet, things would be precarious. While it might narrowly avoid a direct impact with Jupiter, it's entirely possible that one of Jupiter's newly acquired moons, perhaps even Ceres itself, could veer off course and crash into Mars. You could already be dead long before those 30 days are up. As it moved toward Earth, Jupiter would first pass through the asteroid belt. This region between Jupiter and Mars consists of hundreds of thousands of rocky bodies, ranging from tiny dust particles to asteroids almost 1,000 kilometers, 620 miles, in width. But none of these would do anything to slow down the gas giant. The average distance between these asteroids is about equal to 7 Jupiters in a row, so there's a chance the planet could pass through completely unscathed. And in our night sky, Jupiter would now look double its usual size, which doesn't seem like a whole lot to make everyone panic. But that doesn't mean it wouldn't cause a little bit of chaos on its trip. You see, Jupiter's role in protecting Earth. Jupiter is vital to our solar system and to life on Earth. It acts as a gatekeeper to our cozy planetary neighborhood, protecting us from being bombarded with giant life-ending asteroids all the time. Why? Well, because Jupiter's gravitational pull is massive, about 4 times stronger than Earth's. This strong pull redirects asteroids that could be on a collision course with us. And this is good news for you, because even one asteroid as small as 5 kilometers, 3 miles, across could end life on Earth as you know it. Just like what happened to the dinosaurs around 66 million years ago. But if Jupiter suddenly started heading toward the center of the solar system, it could send many dangerous space rocks our way. If one of them smashed into Earth, you might not live long enough to see Jupiter swallow Earth. But for the sake of our hypothetical scenario, let's keep you alive. For now, while sending asteroids on a collision course with Earth, Jupiter could also pick up a new moon or two. The asteroid belt is home to the only dwarf planet in the inner solar system, Ceres. It has about 25% of the total mass of the entire belt. Maybe this dwarf planet would join the 79 other moons that make up Jupiter's very faint ring system. Next stop would be Mars. And now Jupiter would appear almost 4 times larger than usual from Earth. Now, while the red planet could be lucky enough to avoid being obliterated by a head-on impact with Jupiter, it might not make it out untouched. Maybe the newly added moon, Ceres, would slam into it. And this wouldn't be Mars' first rodeo, either. About 700 million years after the formation of our solar system, a huge asteroid, even larger than Ceres, collided with Mars. That collision tore away part of the Martian hemisphere, and the debris from that asteroid started orbiting the red planet, eventually forming its 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. These moons still orbit Mars today. Now, at 16 million kilometers, 10 million miles, away, Jupiter would be closing in on the home stretch. From Earth, you'd see it bright and clear, effects of Jupiter's magnetic field as large as the moon. And from this point on, you'd start to feel some of the effects of Jupiter's powerful magnetic field. This field is the largest object in the solar system, and it's 18,000 times more powerful than Earth's. It would be so strong that it could trap charged particles and accelerate them. These particles would damage electronics in our passing spacecraft, and they could potentially penetrate Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field. And that would be really bad news. Now, you were lucky to avoid one of these planet-killing asteroid collisions. But now, you and everyone else on planet Earth would start to suffer from severe radiation sickness. First, you'd be incapacitated by nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting. You'd also feel anxiety, confusion, and could lose consciousness. After a few torturous hours, you'd start to feel okay. But then the final stage would kick in. You'd experience tremors and convulsions before ending up in coma. Or worse, if somehow you survived this, the ultimate end would draw nearer and nearer. Now only 2 million kilometers, 1.2 million miles, away, the Great Red Spot would be the same size as the Moon. And the planet itself would appear 8 times larger than that rock above us. Earth would now be caught in a violent game of tug-of-war between Jupiter and the Sun. This could cause tidal heating all around our planet. Earth could become a hellhole riddled with earthquakes and volcanic eruptions that would spew sulfur dioxide gases into space. All the while, Jupiter would be making its final approach. Now, as close as the Moon, it would occupy 40 times more space in our night sky. And as it crashes into Earth, the atmospheres of both planets would compress. This would rapidly increase the temperature, causing everything on Earth, including the air itself, to burst into flames. And in this colossal inferno, Earth would burn up in Jupiter's atmosphere until we fuse with the gas giant forever. I guess you could call us pretty unlucky to be the only planet swallowed up by Jupiter. I wonder what would happen if Jupiter swallowed up all the others too. Well, that's a story for another what if.